right, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome once more to the PNT Live Network. And remember, you can always check out archives of these shows over on PNTLive.net. And if you want to learn more about me, just go on over to AlexandraMayersLive.com or follow me on Twitter at AlexMayersLive. So anyway, today we are going to continue with our week of discussing issues pertaining to racism and discrimination within the entertainment industry. Not just the mainstream Hollywood entertainment industry, but also the adult sect of the entertainment industry. And truth be told, it's all one and the same. All the people party together. But today we are going to focus on quite the beautiful male actor known as Louie Smalls. I hadn't ever heard of Louie Smalls. I think I had seen his photographs, but I did not know his name. And the only reason that Louie Smalls crossed my radar is due to my following an individual known as TRPWL, aka Sean Tompkins, who is the adult entertainment industry's top blogger, probably one of the most controversial bloggers too. I would say maybe I'm runner up to him, but he's number one. And he retweeted a tweet from a female performer that was very harsh and unprofessional. And when I read it, I was like, who is this actress? I haven't heard of her before. I hadn't seen her. And what she was tweeting about did seem to encompass some racist themes that normally you would see a possibly a racist white female performer express. But what confused me about the situation is that the actress who was making such an unprofessional tweet, she didn't appear to be white to me. I saw this young woman and I thought, why is she talking about IR when she's not white? It seems like every single scene that she would do actually would be IR, whether she's with a black male, a white male, a multiracial male. I really didn't understand that. But as I've examined the situation further, I decided that this was quite the interesting case for me to present to all of you. So if you do follow me on Twitter, make sure that you follow me on at AlexMayersLive. You will see that I referenced Louie Smalls' Twitter account, and I would like all of you out there who may be fans of the adult industry. I personally am not. I'm so sick and tired of those people, to be honest with you. And also, if you're just someone who is trying to support someone who is being bullied, you should follow him too, just to give him a little extra positive energy. Because what Louie is dealing with is what a lot of the identifiably black male and female adult actors and actresses and mainstream actors and actresses are contending with nowadays in their industry, which is the world of entertainment. I mean, this political climate that we are currently living in, especially over the past 4 years, has been so detrimental to people of color, people like myself. Growing up, I thought that the racist climate, all the racism was starting to diminish. I anticipated when I was a young girl, around 9-10 years old, that by the time that I'm the age I am right now, which is almost 41 years old, I thought by now racism would really be a thing of the past. That's what I was led to believe would happen in school, okay? I grew up in Spring, Texas. I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. I did not experience much racism actually until my parents divorced and I moved with my mother and my sibling to an area where there was more diversity. That's actually where I first started really encountering what racism really is, which is interesting when I think about it. Maybe the more diversity, the more people notice the differences, and the more that they want to use the differences as an excuse to blame their problems on. I really don't know. But I just thought that by now we would be living in a far more calm and peaceful climate, but we're not. And I think a big reason why we're not has to do with the free distribution of extremely hateful adult content. I mean, every year the adult content from the pornography industry is becoming increasingly extreme. And the reason for that has to do with the fact that the general populace is becoming desensitized to the pornography because we've been so inundated with it. It's no different than someone developing a tolerance to nicotine or alcohol or some other drug. Pornography is a type of a psychological drug. Do I think pornography should be obliterated? No, I don't. I think that it is a viable art form. I've always thought that. But the reality is that the pornography industry today within America is not a viable art form. It is a hate crime in many cases. I and my family experienced that. Those of you who follow me, you know what I've gone through when it comes to the racism linked to the organized crime elements attached to the adult entertainment industry. That industry right now is not just organized crime, but it's abuse. And they are strategically abusing the men and women of color. And they are getting away with it. What a lot of people don't seem to comprehend or understand at this stage, and I'm going to start showing some charts and graphs to reflect what I'm telling you, is that the interracial porn is the top selling genre right now. If you are black in the adult entertainment industry and you are not demanding 3 times what your likely normal rate is right now, you are a fool. Because you have a lot of people who are not black who are capitalizing off you via their exploitation of you, but they're paying you less than your peers who are your white counterparts. And then on top of that, they are putting your lives in danger. The female actress that Louie Smalls is having an altercation with on social media right now is a woman known as Bella Rolland. Bella Rolland is new to the adult entertainment industry. From what I can see, according to IAFD.com, which currently has her misclassified as Caucasian, she is in fact half Caucasian, so she claims. Sometimes she claims that she's half Australian and half Mexican. Okay? But here's the thing. Neither Australian or Mexican are a race. Australian is a nationality. Mexican is a nationality. When I look at Bella Rolland, I see a brown woman with straight hair who is very tall. When she says Australian, does she mean Aborigine Australian? Meaning the indigenous people of Australia? Maybe. When she says Mexican, does she mean Native American or Spanish as in from Europe, or a mixture? I don't know. But she definitely needs to be properly classified in the racial classification system of the adult entertainment industry. I mean, if you're going to have it, do it right. Okay? But I really don't think that any of her adult content should be labeled as interracial. But anyway, it appears that Bella Rolland needs more attention than most people do. And I would recommend at this stage, if Bella Rolland ever sees this particular podcast, that she look into finding a professional therapist as soon as possible. because her public behavior in regards to Louie Smalls not only shows a lack of class and a lack of self-respect, but it shows a lack of professionalism and a lack of ethics, and also a lack of education. I would be curious as to where Bella Rolland comes from, what led her into the industry. Do I think she's a bad person? Probably not. Do I think that she's confused? Absolutely. As are most of the performers within the adult entertainment industry. Apparently she had a dispute on set with Louie Smalls, a dispute which led her to make some allegations and claims in regards to Louie when it comes to his current medical status pertaining to sexually transmitted diseases. Bella Smalls accused Louie of carrying a curable STD. I am not a medical professional. I have never met Louie Smalls in person. I have only sent him a few tweets, public tweets. I did advise that should he ever want me to interview him, be it over the internet or in person, he probably does need to consult with his legal representation first before talking to me or before talking to anybody. Did he transmit anything to her? That's hearsay. Bella Rolland, to my knowledge, is not a doctor. Bella Rolland, to my knowledge, like I said, is relatively new to the adult entertainment industry. And I'm trying to figure out exactly how Louie Smalls would have been cleared in the past system to work, but would in actuality be carrying or actively carrying an STD. I don't think he did, because if he did, it would be in the past system, unless this past system, the STD testing system, has completely failed. That's the only way. From the screenshots that Louie has sent me, he appears to have been cleared in the system in the time frame that is referenced by Bella. I think if Bella simply didn't want to work with Louie for whatever reason, she should have just kept him on her no list. I find it odd that at one point in time she claims that he was on her no list, but then she took him off her no list. That's something I don't quite understand. Another thing when it comes to Louie Smalls, I would be very curious as to how much Louie has been paid by the studio that really kind of helped him skyrocket to fame, the Greg Lansky studio that has that line called Blacked. The reason I wonder that is because I'm wondering, considering that as soon as a black male performer works for Greg Lansky, he's automatically thrown into the crosshairs of white supremacist and white nationalist groups. Is Greg Lansky offering these male talents of color hazard pay to put their lives at risk? Because when I look at just the pattern of what Bella Rolland has accused Louie Smalls of, the pattern reflects that of what I've seen female performers attached to white supremacist and white nationalist groups say. Here's something that's going on that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but we're going to talk about this today. There's a group of white males who are utilizing the black males in the adult entertainment industry as examples. Okay, they're using these males as examples to scare black society by strategically taking them down one by one. And they are doing it by paying off white female performers who may regret having entered the interracial sect and who may just be, in need of money. And they direct these particular females what to do in order to get these black males not only cast out of the adult entertainment industry, but they direct them how to systematically destroy their lives. It's a real thing going on. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, you're paranoid, Alexandra. No, I'm not. Look at the court cases that I've had open. Look at the police reports I filed. Look at what's been said about me online. I shouldn't actually be sitting here right now explaining this to you. It's a miracle that I'm still alive, because I've been in the crosshairs of some of these men for a very long time, and by the grace of God, they have not been able to kill me. If Bella Rolland was really concerned about STDs as much as she claims to be, from my perspective, she never would have worked for Evil Angel. Louie Smalls, anytime anyone in the adult entertainment industry who may be attached to the white supremacist or white nationalist groups that I just explained about, anytime anyone says anything to you that's negative or derogatory, you just need to say one name, and that name is John Stagliano, the founder and owner of Evil Angel Productions. Here's something interesting about the adult entertainment industry. The adult entertainment industry, from my perspective, should actually be called today the white privilege industry, because there's something very strange that's been going on for years and nobody wants to talk about it. But we're going to talk about it today. There is a white privilege enabled male within the industry known as John Stagliano. John Stagliano was diagnosed many years ago as being HIV positive. John Stagliano has had sexual contact with various performers who are not HIV positive within the industry, sans condom. And there have been reports that have come out in regards to this, from Sheena Shaw to a young woman known as Jenny Bly. That was recent. But he's still there. Nobody ever questions him. Nobody says anything about him. So here you got John Stagliano, a white male, HIV positive, having all kinds of inappropriate physical sexual contact with non-HIV positive, in other words, HIV negative, female talent in the straight side of the talent pool. No one says anything. But then here we have Louie Smalls, young, Black, attractive, athletic, driven, motivated, trying to play the game. But people are treating him like he has the plague when it hasn't even been clear or not whether or not he did have this alleged STD that Bella Rolland is saying that he had. And if he even did, it was curable. He's not HIV positive like Stagliano, yet he's being treated like he might be, and he's not. Another bit of hypocrisy. Just yesterday, I talked about Xander Corvus. Now, Xander Corvus, everybody thought he was white, even though he did admit he was in part of African ancestry. You know, I am going to do a side-by-side of Xander Corvus and Louie Smalls, because I'm sorry, but Xander Corvus is only black in one industry in America, and that is the porn industry. Nowhere else is Xander Corvus, aka Michael, black. Please, just shut up. But yeah. So I remember when Xander was in the midst of the Cameron Bay revelations revolving around HIV. And today, Xander Corvus has a contract with MindGeek, aka Brazzers. Yet, Louie Smalls is going through what he's going through. Look, the way I look at Louie Smalls, I'm just going to do it myself. Louie Smalls, from my perspective, being that we're at the end of 2019, maybe I'll do some awards. I'll do the PNT Awards. Maybe I'll do it on New Year's Eve. But I am nominating at this moment Louie Smalls as being the sexiest man alive in the adult entertainment industry, because he reminds me quite a bit of what's his name? Idris Elba. Is that his name? Idris Elba? He looks like the porn industry version, younger, but about the same thing. Why don't they do like a remake of Thor and cast Louie Smalls as Heimdall? He is freaking 6'9", Haitian descent. He has a little bit of a fatalistic life view, but I don't blame him. It's hard to be a black man nowadays, not just in the entertainment industry, anywhere. But yeah, black male talent, stop allowing these little white privileged enabled jerks like Greg Lansky and whoever else to exploit you, put you in danger, ruin you, not offer you hazard pay, not offer you insurance, not offer you anything. Stop letting them make you feel like it's some sort of a privilege to work for them, when in actuality, it's their privilege to work with you. They will be nothing without you. Nothing. And Greg Lansky, if you ever see this, I want you to get real used to this face, because you have been hiding for a long time. Only reason I haven't really said much about you is because I really wanted that girl Tiana Trump to have a chance, but she doesn't even need you anymore. I want to tell y'all about something that happened to me years ago. And maybe it was meant to happen to me, because when I looked at the situation revolving around Louie Smalls, and I thought it triggered me, and it made me think about what happened to me so many years ago. When I was relatively new to the adult entertainment industry, my agent at the time received a booking from a producer who wanted to, or claimed at least, that they wanted to shoot me for Penthouse magazine. It would have been an interracial shoot with a male talent. And this male talent was white. What was his name? His stage name was Eric Swiss. And you know what's funny? To this day, when you Google my stage name, Monica Foster, for some reason, you know how it shows you other people that people search for? His damn photo pops up, and I've never done a scene with him, and I'm going to tell you why that scene never happened. That scene never happened because Eric Swiss has a problem. I'm not going to say that he's a hardcore racist. But is he racist? Yeah, I would say he is. I remember arriving on set that day, and I remember how he looked at me. And I just knew right away that he thought he was better than me. The makeup artist on the set that day, I cannot remember his name. He was a male though. And he must have been a very empathetic person as well, because the whole time he was doing my makeup, it's almost like he was giving me a pep talk. He was like, don't ever let anyone make you think that you're lesser. Sometimes when you're a black talent, people in this industry are going to treat you bad, but you stand up for yourself. That particular makeup artist was definitely multiracial. I would say he would have classified himself as Latino. So this particular director, who today she's no longer active in the industry, thank God. We go through my wardrobe, the scene, everything seems to be going okay. The scene's about to start. I had not too recently, well, I guess it was kind of recently, I think about a week and a half prior, I had retested with AIM, which was a testing clinic at the time. I was cleared to work. And the next time I tested, I was cleared as well. But Eric Swiss believed that I had an STD that day, and the scene was canceled. They didn't offer me a kill fee. They wanted to reschedule. Myself and my agent at the time decided that that rescheduling would not happen. And I never shot for Penthouse because Eric Swiss believed I had an STD, though AIM, the testing center, did not determine I had an STD. Eric Swiss made me feel very bad about myself. I saw him a few years later when I was shooting those parody movies I was in. And I actually spoke to him. And I told him it was water under the bridge. That's how I felt at the time. But today, I don't feel that way. Today, I hope he falls down an escalator and cracks his skull open. That's how I feel about him. So, when I just look at this Louie Smalls situation, Louie, you need to demand a lot more money for what you're doing if you want to continue. As someone who looks at you as though you could be a family member of mine, I have to say to you today, Louie, you are too good for the adult entertainment industry. It is a privilege for them to work with you and to collect content of you. They do not deserve you. And you certainly don't deserve the crap that they are bestowing upon you. If after you talk to your legal representation, you would like me to interview you, I would love to interview you. But just keep in mind, Louie, that a lot of people in the industry look at me like I am basically Satan. So you may not ever want to talk to me, really, when it comes to, if you want to keep your life calm and free of bullying. I don't want this to continue. I don't like it. I do agree with that guy, Xander Corvus. It should not, the term interracial should not exist. Because we are all human beings. That term interracial, it somehow makes it seem as though people of color are somehow more like animalistic or lesser than those who are European or Caucasian. And why would that mentality still be going forward? You know what? I am someone who believes that there's extraterrestrial life. And look, if Star Trek is any sort of primer in regards to what it takes for humanity to be welcomed into the galactic society, we're never going to get there thanks to the goddamn porn industry. No, we are failing every day as humanity. At least in the eyes of the extraterrestrials, because they are looking at us like we are so damn stupid. So that's it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. Once more, this was another podcast of PNTLIVE. Love yourself, people. Truly love yourself. Because that's all that's really important. You come into this world alone. You exit this world alone. Doesn't matter if one person loves you or billions love you. If you don't manage to figure out how to learn how to love yourself, every moment that you've spent breathing on this planet has been nothing more but a waste of time. Bye-bye.